What's up, Heat fans? It's Nic Rohloff of the Heat Report with a Tyler Herro injury update here, and it is getting more and more concerning as time goes on. I'd also like to apologize if the audio is a little bit echoey. My microphone stopped working this morning, so we'll hopefully get that fixed for the at-home studio setups. But let's dive into the news here because, well, Anthony Chiang of the Miami Herald had a report today that kind of gave us an update on when Tyler Herro might return. But that is a very strong might because he's missed the last 10 games. He apparently received a injection into his foot and will be reevaluated in 1 to 2 weeks. That is what Chiang reported. It also is reported that they are hoping he'll be able to return by the end of the regular season. Hoping? What? When did this get so bad? Like, Herro is very out of the rotation again. Like, this has been unbelievable. Think about it. Like, he got hurt. This right foot issue began during the All-Star break. He went into All-Star weekend fully healthy. And he comes out of it with a right foot issue. And then he hyperextends his knee in the fourth quarter against the Pelicans. That felt like that was the only injury he was dealing with. He recovers from it, but then has missed the last 10 games due to the knee, and now, like, basically the 8 or 9 is the foot. So Herro is just going to continue to be out of our lineup. This is just absolutely brutal. And this is concerning for the fact that Tyler is always missing games. I love Herro. I think that if the Heat want to ever reach where they want to reach, which is the NBA championship, at least with the current roster on hand, Tyler Herro is absolutely needed. The only issue is that Tyler Herro is never on the basketball court. Never. It sucks because I love Tyler. All I want him to do is to succeed and be the third guy on a championship team and maybe take that leap that we all hoped he could to be one of the top scorers in the NBA, which would allow Jimmy and Bam to take a little step back on the offensive end and just focus on what makes them so great, which is defense and closing out games in terms of Jimmy Butler in the fourth quarter. But that will never be able to happen because Tyler is never on the court. He has only played in 36 games this season. Yeah, we're at 66. 36 and 30 is the record for Miami right now. So he's missed 30 games this year. And if we look at Tyler's career, he has missed over a quarter of the games the Miami Heat have played in the last 4.5 seasons. Like, since he came in the league in 2020, or it could be 2019, 2020, he has, if you take all of the Heat games and then look at the games Tyler's missed, it's more than 25% of it. And it's getting, excuse me, more and more concerning because Herro has never played more than 67 games. That's not too good. And if you think about the new rules, to win these awards, you have to play 65-plus games, right? So just based off Tyler Herro's career, he would never be able to even qualify for any of these All-NBA or MVP. Like, obviously, he's not going to be an MVP, but he wouldn't even be able to qualify for them because he never plays. He played 55 his rookie year, 54 in year 2, 66 in year 3, 67 in year 4, and then now he's at 36, and it doesn't seem likely he'll get more than 42 games. Because if he returns before the regular season ends, well, guess what? He's still probably not going to play more than 6 games. So, I mean, this is just who Herro is at this point. It sucks. I'm not a fan of it. But to me, it just feels like Tyler Herro will never be able to stay on the court for Miami, and that's devastating, which brings us to a conversation that must be had in the offseason about Herro's future in the 305. Let me know, though, if you're concerned about Tyler Herro long-term with this injury. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. I apologize for having to keep on clearing my throat, but my goodness. But yeah, he obviously won last night. If you're watching this on Saturday against the Pistons, they finally got off the 4-game losing streak, which is a good thing. Bam made another 3. How about that? Back-to-back games for Adebayo with a 3-pointer. And I believe it's 3 on the year he's made now. All 3 coming from the same spot, just at the top of the key above the break, which if Bam's going to space the floor, that's where I want him to take his shots because, one, it's the easiest 3 in hypothetical terms. It also allows more spacing if he's taking them from the top of the key rather than the corner. So it's nice to see Bam take a 3 and make a 3 in back-to-back games, 2 for his last 2. Adebayo, the floor spacer. Now it's just about making your free throws. That would be nice too. That would be a good thing for Miami to have because Bam coming into that game yesterday was shooting 50% from the free throw line on 5.5 attempts a night in his last 4 in that 4-game losing streak. So Bam, I'm glad to see him have a really strong game last night against the Detroit Pistons. They needed it to get that win. Very, very good to see the Heat get off the schneid there and get a nice little victory against the Pistons. They play the Pistons again on Sunday tomorrow, which is a must-win as well. I told this to some people in our Chat Sports office that I was ready to call the season over if they lost one of the 2 games against the Pistons. They already lost the game in the Woods Series last Sunday. That can't happen again. So you got to beat the Pistons twice, get back to 7 games above 500, and start battling in the Eastern Conference. Right now, I believe the Heat would be the 7th seed in the East. The Sixers are the 8th, I believe, and the Pacers are the 6th. So if the season ended today, the Heat and Sixers would be playing in the play-in game, which I think Miami would win that game. I just think we're a better team than Philadelphia, even when they have Joel Embiid healthy, to be honest. But that's not what we're focused on here, right? We don't want to have to play in the play-in. We want to get that 6th seed. And that's where I think the best chance of Miami making another run in the postseason is, if you want to shift that conversation there here on today's video. If you're standings watching for the Miami Heat, I think you should clearly want the 6th seed, and no doubt about that. Because, one, you don't have to play the play-in. That's a good thing. Because if you lose the first play-in game in the 7-8, even if you win the second one, you're guaranteed to play Boston in the first round. No bueno. No bueno. 2, well, you don't have to play an extra game because now you get an extra 2 or 3 days off between the last day of the regular season and when the playoffs actually start up. Because remember, the play-in games are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then the playoffs start Friday, Saturday. So you don't want to be playing in that. You get almost a full week off. You get to rest up, get fully healthy. In this situation, maybe get Tyler more healthy for the playoff push, assuming he can return to this Heat lineup. So to me, you really have to take advantage here and make the 6th seed. That is the goal. And then you'd be matching up with Milwaukee or Cleveland in the first round, which I'm going to be honest, I'm taking Miami. Like, even though the Heat have a lot of flaws, and don't get it twisted, they have quite a bit of flaws, I am still going to take the Miami Heat over the Cleveland Cavaliers and Milwaukee Bucks. Like, to me, the ideal path for Miami is to be the 6th, play Cleveland in the first round, they will beat Cleveland, and then play the winner of Milwaukee and whoever wins the play-in game, Indiana or Philly, in the second round. Because I also think we beat the Milwaukee Bucks in the second round. Because Milwaukee, to me, is not even as good as they were last year. And the Heat beat them. And I'd say this Heat team is better than last year's team. I know we're kind of down in the dumps about Miami right now, but I'm still going to go out there and say this team is better than the team last year. I mean, Jaime and Jovic coming into form, Duncan Robinson being fully back, Terry Rozier on this lineup. Like, this team is better than last year's. It is, because when you look at last year's, I know we had Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, and they played phenomenally, but Jaime, to me, is as good as the player as Max Strus is. Is Jaime going to space the floor like Max can? No, obviously not. But that's why Duncan Robinson coming on and being the impact player that he is this year is so massive for Miami, because now he is your three-point shooter. And hypothetically, if Tyler returns, or also have him for the postseason run. So a Rozier, Herro, Jaquez, all those guys, Jovic playing more, like, those guys weren't on the team last year. I'll take those 3/4 guys over the team that had Kyle Lowry, Gabe Vincent, and Max Strus. I really am doing that. So I think this team is better. I think they're still able to go on a run. You're just going to need to see Jimmy and Bam step up offensively, which I know it's not fair to ask them to be the main guys leading the charge on offense and defense. That's why Tyler Herro and Terry are here, right? But Tyler's not ever on the court. And Terry's starting to find his stride. Good game yesterday, even though he struggled with his shot, over 5 from 3. Was able to get to the rim, get to the free throw line, and still tally, I think, 18 points. So I like that Terry's continuing to get into his rhythm here, because to me, he is what makes this Heat team more dangerous than last year's, because we didn't have an isolation scorer from the perimeter that can break down a defense from the top of the key and really attack the paint and draw a crowd to kick out to other guys. That's what Terry brings to the table. That's what I'm excited for him to continue to elevate this Miami Heat team. That's going to do it for today's video. No watch party again tomorrow against the Pistons. We are returning on Monday against the Philadelphia 76ers for the rest of the year. Once Monday starts with Philly, I am not missing a game for the rest of the season. You can take that to the bank. So hit that sub button and join us for more watch parties for the rest of the season, and hopefully a deep playoff run.